Well, welcome back, everyone. I am so excited to be introducing today's third demo of the day, the CoachHub Advantage, where AI, coaching science, and measurable impact converge. And we've got two representatives from CoachHub to lead this demo, Senior Behavioral Scientist Jen Paterno and Enterprise Transformation Consultant Jason Asen. And we're also going to have Carly Fitzpatrick in the chat to help answer any questions as they go. So you're completely covered questions today. Now passing it over to you, Jen and Jason, so you can take it away.
Fabulous. Thank you, Bianca. And hello, everybody. We're excited to be here today. So we'll get right into the meat of this shortly, but just so you know, I'm going to take you through a little bit of the CoachHub Advantage and our solution overall, and a little bit of our product overview. And then I'll pass it over to Jason, who will take us through our coachee journey, some of the impact measurement, and then a little bit about an event that we have coming up that you all might want to join to dig a little bit deeper into Amy, our new AI coach. Awesome. So when we were preparing for today, what we really wanted to do was take some time up front to highlight what we think makes CoachHub really special as a vendor partner. And what I'd like to kick off with right off the bat is our coach pool. So, so sorry, Jason, next you or next slide. So we have a coach pool of over 3,500 certified coaches across over 80 countries, speaking 80 languages. And what is really special about this pool is we are super picky. We have a really, really good intake process for our coaches and interview process. All of our coaches have a professional certification by one of the leading coaching associations, so an ICF or EMCC equivalent. All of our coaches are expert coaches, so they all have at least 500 coaching hours, which is an equivalent of an ICF PCC certified coach, though most of our coaches often have over 1,000 coaching hours. We have an additional pool of MCC certified coaches for support with our executive coaching program. And then all of our coaches have at least a minimum experience of 6 years executive experience in relevant industries. We also have an average session rating of 4.5 out of 5. So every single one of our coaching sessions is rated immediately after our coachees leave. And we have a minimum requirement of 4.5 for that. So when we talk about what we offer CoachHub and the formats that we have available for all of your employee needs, we understand that every company is unique. Jason, could you? Yeah, thank you. We understand that every company is unique, and that's why we've developed a suite of coaching solutions, or what I affectionately like to call our coaching ecosystem, that we're able to tailor precisely to fit your strategic goals. So whether you're seeking personalized one-on-one coaching for professional growth, like what we've got in CoachHub Standard, if you're looking for executive coaching for your high impact leaders, maybe you're looking for collective coaching sessions, so to help empower your teams and create better problem solving skills. Or one of our newest offerings, Amy, our personalized goal-oriented AI coach. Our programs and partnership ensure seamless alignment with your company's objectives and really enable you to democratize coaching throughout your organization, which is the basis of what we're looking to do here at CoachHub. So we're not offering just off-the-shelf coaching programs. What we also offer is partnership. And as a former talent and learning leader for 2 decades, that excites me most of all. I'm always looking for a vendor that's going to help me be successful when we implement. And we have a team that works closely with yours to co-design a coaching program that aligns perfectly with your company's vision and objectives. So when it comes to implementation, you can rest assured that we've got you covered there. Our platform is built with the highest standards of security and stability in mind, and that ensures a seamless experience for you and your team every step of the way. Plus, our dedicated support team is always there to provide assistance whenever you need it. We go beyond the basics by meeting you where you are. So we've got innovative tools and platforms, such as our CoachHub app for Microsoft Teams, our AI coaching companion, Amy, and all of these integrate seamlessly into your existing workflows and ensure a cohesive coaching experience. Additionally, CoachHub Academy provides self-paced learning materials and empowers your team to continue their growth journey at their own pace. And then, of course, when we talk about the importance of measuring results, we offer a range of assessment tools and dashboards to help you track progress, identify areas for improvement, and to make informed decisions about the future of your coaching programs. And at the heart of our coaching methodology is CoachHub's coaching framework. So this is where our personalized programs for your people lead to measurable wins for your company. So how does this work? Our framework is not just a concept, it's a proven system, and we've developed it through the principles of evidence-based management approach. And what this framework offers is a structured step-by-step process that allows us to configure coaching programs precisely to meet your needs. We do this by selecting what we call focus areas. So you'll see the little circles inside of the framework there. These are the coachable skills that are crucial for individual and organizational success. And at CoachHub, we have 29 defined focus areas that are divided into 4 main categories, and each is crucial for driving effective behavioral change. So at our core, these are the behaviors that are essential to success in any development program. These are things like goal setting, self-esteem. Drive is one of our other categories, and these are motivation-centric behaviors that drive people toward progress. So think about things like resilience, growth mindset. Think are the cognitive skills and creative behaviors that shape how we think about and view the world. So strategic thinking, creativity, and then relate. Behaviors that affect our relationship building, collaboration, and interpersonal skills. So collaboration, all of that good stuff. And with our framework, we give you the power to customize your coaching journey. So you can focus on the areas that resonate with your organization's goals and challenges. And as I've already mentioned, we're also here to partner with you and assist you every step of the way in building that out. So our team will provide you personalized recommendations so that your selections are perfectly aligned with your objectives. Throughout the coaching journey, coachees embark on a path of self-discovery and growth, and they're able to measure their progress and gather feedback and observe tangible behavior changes in these focus areas as they delve into these areas. It's about identifying, reflecting, and tracking progress every step of the way. And so that results in that highly tailored program that's designed to address your specific goals and objectives and provide tangible results for your organization. So when we think about our impact model, measurement model at a high level, and Jason's going to touch on some of this later when he shows some of our reporting, but our standardized approach to building measurable programs offers enhanced reporting capabilities that demonstrate coaching impact. So it's a multi-layered approach that includes both leading and lagging indicators that show the impact of CoachHub's coaching programs. So we've got our evolved coaching framework, which I just spoke about with our expanded list of focus areas, and that helps with our ability to configure your programs. We have an option for CoachHub feedback, which is a streamlined approach to either self-assess or use 180-degree or 360-degree feedback assessments for professional development. We can use those for pre and post coaching to measure impact. And then we've got our impact reporting. So leveraging all of our data from feedback and assessments, our coachee satisfaction, experience surveys, and then capabilities that help with reporting functionality to demonstrate that measurable impact. And then the last thing I'd just like to share a bit about, again, we mentioned that I'm on the behavioral science team. I sit in a larger team, which is called our innovation lab. And so our focus here is on program design, product innovation, and coaching science. So we don't only help you with the design of your programs, we're also working with our product team to bring insights back to them, whether it's from our clients, or it's from research that we are doing, or it's from working with our science council in order to ensure that our products are continuing to evolve and are responding to the needs of our clients. And also, we have innovation lab partners in our product team and also with our science council that are making sure that we are keeping up to date on the most recent coaching science so that everything that we are doing is aligned with what is going on in the industry and what is going to bring the most impact to your organization. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Jason so he can share a little bit of the product demo with you.
Thank you, Jen. So we're going to move into what a coachee journey looks like. Now, this is going to give you an overview, this slide of what the beginning right to the end of a coaching program looks like. I'm going to dive into each of one of these areas a little bit, but just wanted to upfront let you know that our platform is available 24/7. It's available desktop, Android, and iPhone. So people can access it when and where they want. So we're going to start with the coach selection, and this is where some of our AI begins to pop its head into the discussion today. So we use an AI algorithm to match coach-coachee. The coachee starts with a 14-question profile about themselves, their background, their experience, where they've been, what they're looking to get out of coaching. And then we also ask them some questions around their coach, preferences. Do you have a preference for age, gender, those types of things for your coach? And then quite quickly, we provide them with 6 coach matches. So if you're familiar with traditional coach matching, that could take weeks and months at times. With the platform, we have a 99% match rate. So we have less than 1% of coachees that come back and say, I'm not quite happy with my coach. So our algorithm is working really, really well. And our match rate is top of the rate. Then we're going to move into scheduling the coaching sessions immediately after checking with your coach. So we recommend booking in 4 coaching sessions in advance. We work on an unlimited coaching model, so you can have as many coaching sessions in a month as you'd like. We generally see folks settle into every other week cadence. They're 45 minutes in length. And again, you do all this on the platform, you'll get an email into your inbox so that you can add that to your calendar. Very simple and easy. Jen talked about our assessment capabilities. We start with a self-assessment. So the coachee, Jen talked about our focus areas. So out of the 29 focus areas, we generally pick about 12 of those and configure the program for your use case. The self-assessment will come and they will answer questions on those 12 focus areas. Once that's complete, they'll get a report back and they can review that with their coach. We also have the capability of 180 and 360 feedback loops as well on the platform, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. So once they've completed their self-assessment, reviewed the report, maybe had a conversation with their coach about it, we ask them to pick 3 of the 12. You can't eat an elephant all at once, so we just want them to pick 3 areas to really focus in on. And what we have them do is they rate themselves. Let's say they've picked resilience, which you see on the screen here. So they rate themselves where they're at today. So if you feel you're at a 4 out of 10 on resilience today, and then we ask them to rate themselves where they'd like to be. Let's say it's a 6-month coaching engagement. Where would you like to be at the end of this? Could be a 6, it could be an 8. So then we've got some benchmarks to work with here on the focus area selection. And as they move through their coaching program, you'll see that they go back and they reassess themselves as to where they're at. Then the coaching program begins, and like I said, unlimited coaching. I like to suggest coachees get in weekly for the first little bit. There is some heavy lifting to be done at the beginning of any coachee engagement. You got to build that working alliance with your coach, get comfortable with the program, start to build those goals and select those focus areas. Another great part of the platform is our coaching academy. So this content is all curated by Jen and her team in the Innovation Lab. There are thousands of what we call learning nuggets inside the Coaching Academy. And this is useful in many different ways. So my coach will actually go in and assign some content to me after every coaching session. So for example, if we had been talking about goal setting in that coaching session, my coach would go in and find some content in the academy around goal setting. And that would be my homework to do in between this session and the next one. But the academy is available for the coachee to go in and search. It's very easy to find content. And there is some AI built into the academy as well. So the platform will look at your focus areas and your goals, and they will recommend content related to those. And as you begin to consume content on the academy, it's kind of like Netflix. They'll say, well, you watched this and did this item. You might like these as well. So there's always new content being built and posted to the academy from our behavioral science team, which is fantastic. Just allows us to be a bit more proactive in having some content in between coaching sessions. So again, I mentioned tracking progress. So this is my coach and I, at the very end, in the last 5 minutes of every coaching session, will come back to the focus area page where I rated myself on these 3 areas. And we review if I'm making progress. Sometimes you might want to switch out one of those 3 focus areas if so it's not resonating with you, or you've completed some of the tasks that you were looking to with that focus area. But we ask people to rate themselves very regularly so that we can see where they started and see where they end up. And I'll show you that in a minute on the dashboard. So this is not brand new, but our feedback mechanism through 180 and 360. So the 180 is the coachee, and the manager. 360 would be direct reports, colleagues. But this allows us to move into a different area of being able to measure impact. So let's say you've got a 6-month coaching engagement and you add a 360 assessment at the beginning and the end of that engagement. Then you've got those benchmarks that you can work on, and really the intended outcome of most coaching programs in some way, shape, or form is sustained behavior change. So this is a really good way for us to begin to be able to look at sustained behavior change through 360 impact. It's not just the coachee self-assessing if they've moved from where they were to where they wanted to go. So we are going to look at the dashboard. This slide just gives you a quick overview of the kind of things that we're going to look at in the dashboard. Jen spoke about leading indicator data, and that's really what we're going to begin sharing with you here on the dashboard. So you can see here, this is our insights dashboard. We have an overview page. We have these great filters at the top where we can select different programs. I'm just going to leave the entire, all the coachees included here, but you can search by this. This is all downloadable into a PDF, and then the actual data is downloadable into CSV files as well. So the overview page shows sessions, impact, satisfaction. It'll also show you how many coaching months you may have in your coaching bank at the moment, so you can plan for future programs. But over on the left-hand side here, we'll just dive quickly into our engagement tab. So coachee engagement is one of the leading indicators of success of any coaching program, that coach-coachee alliance and the number of sessions that they're having on a regular basis. So what we show on this page is average monthly sessions for the previous month and the current month. And then we also benchmark them against like-sized organizations so they can see how they're doing. Again, I like to see about 2 coaching sessions per month, so these numbers aren't great in my mind, but you can begin to use this data and take a look at the engagement that you're having. We also have the ability to have these tiles here where we show invited, in matching, matched. This is where we can flag people that might get stuck. They get nominated for a coaching program and they get stuck in the invited stage, or they went to pick their coach and they couldn't choose anybody and they kind of got stuck there. So this allows us to see that as well. And then down here, we can see the focus area distribution, what people are choosing to work on, what the top assignments out of the academy are here on the left, and then our coaches actually completing the assignments that are being put into their to-do tab. So that's the engagement tab. Impact is kind of what I call the rubber hitting the road. So we talked about rating our focus areas, where we are today, where we'd like to be, and then ongoing. And this is where you can really begin to see some data. I've been in coaching for about 18 years, and this kind of stuff was really missing in coaching to be able to talk about, some return on investment. But we can see how many coachees have chosen each one of these focus areas, and we can see how much progress they've made from where they were, if it was a 4 and they wanted to get to an 8. So this data is all anonymized and aggregated. So, nobody's going to be picked out here, but this data is really important in informing HR people around what kind of impact they're having, what kind of movement people are having in that sustained behavior change. We also have the top categories for goals and their percentage of goal attainment as well. So lots of great data that we begin to build this story for you around, what the leading indicators are saying coaching's impact is having. And then another a great indicator of coaching success would be the satisfaction. Jen talked about the surveys that we do. Um, we are this organization is a 5 out of 5. I think we're currently ranking at about 4.7. Our benchmark, as Jen mentioned, is 4.5 out of 5. But we ask these three simple questions at the end of every single coaching session. We get a really good response rate because it's simple and easy to use. But this is really good information for us. In addition to, we allow an area for them to provide some anecdotal feedback to their coaching and the program that they're on, which is great information to share as well. Finally, we have a programs tab where you can see as many, this organization has 5 programs currently going with us. But what I really like is the coachee list as well. So you can see where your coach is at, your coachees are at. You can see their start date, their end date. We can also see how many sessions they've had here as well. If we wanted to add coaching months for an extension for someone, we can do that. We can cancel coaching and resend the welcome email. But this little tab right here allows us to see how many sessions they've had, when their next session is booked, making sure that they're taking part in the program. We want to make sure that coaching investment is used wisely. So we work really, really closely, and this data and this coachee list page allows us to do that as well. So that is that part of the demo. We'll go back into the deck and talk a little bit about Amy. So Amy is our AI coach. We launched a couple of months ago. Big events in New York and Berlin. And Amy is the future of coaching. Like, this is what we believe. And Amy is going to allow CoachHub to fulfill its mission. And our mission is to democratize coaching and bring coaching to all career levels. So Amy's availability to coach 24/7, coach thousands of people at the same time, is amazing and fantastic. And if you're thinking ChatGPT, think again. Amy's nothing like ChatGPT. She's not run off of that. This is all proprietary stuff that our engineering and R&D group has been working on for a number of years. So Amy is going to be a game changer for us and all of our customers. Amy currently works in 3 modalities. So she'll do goal setting with you. She'll provide situational coaching, and both of those are based off of Adam Grant's work. And then she'll also role play with you. Now, if you would like your AI coach to be a male or female, you can choose that. I'm just using Amy because that's what we've called her. You can customize Amy from her conversational style to her avatar to anything you'd like. So it's going to fit exactly what you're looking for. But Amy's going to help you decide what goals you should be working on, help you plan out what that looks like in writing your goals. It could be, performance based. It could be career development based. There's lots of different areas that Amy can help you with goal setting and achievement. She'll also help you in the situational coaching environment where, maybe you're navigating change in your workplace or you need to build some resilience. Something just happens in your day to day and you need 15 minutes with Amy to have a chat around what's happening, have a coaching session. She's always there and available. And then finally, the role playing is very interesting. Maybe you're going to have a tough conversation with somebody that you report to or somebody that reports to you. Maybe you're trying to build rapport and trust with somebody. And Amy will role play those with you. You put the parameters in and what the conversation looks and sounds like. And Amy's going to spend some time with you role playing so that you're prepared for those tough conversations. And then finally, we're super excited about Wednesday, May 14th. We've got a How AI Coaching is Revolutionizing People Development webinar coming your way. You can scan this code here. I think Carly will also put the event details and registration page in the chat. But this is going to be a fantastic session for you to learn a lot more about Amy, how Amy was built, what Amy's going to do, and the great impact that Amy can have with lower level people in all organizations. So we've come to the Q&A session.
All right. You guys are doing an amazing job at answering people's questions in the chat. So that's been fantastic. I think we have just one question that came in mere moments ago, but people, please feel free to keep popping questions into the chat if you still have them. You're asked, is CoachHub available to individuals who wish to connect with a coach?
Yeah, so I was just in the chat on that. I think if I'm understanding Marwa, you might be asking about if we operate in a B2C capacity, and right now the answer is we do not. We are B2B. So it would be an your organization would sign up to work with CoachHub, and then your employees would have access to coaches based on how you decide you want to run that program.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Tammy asks, what are the 3 satisfaction questions that you ask?
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm happy to. They're actually right on this page.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, I feel like Jason has them for us.
Yeah, they were. If I can get out of here. So they're right here. First one, my coach and I have a strong working relationship. Number 2 is my coach supports me in defining what I want to work on. And number 3 is thanks to coaching, I know exactly what to do to achieve my goals.
All right. Do you have an affiliate program if someone wants to refer their clients to you?
We have a partnership program that might, yeah. But they can reach out to us, Bianca, if, yeah, that's
Okay.
a bit deeper conversation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So obviously you've just been talking about your AI coach. How is it different from other AI tools people might be used to using, like ChatGPT?
My, I love this question. I'm going to try to keep this as high level as I can for the time we have, because we're going to go pretty deep into the behavioral science on the webinar, I believe. But so Amy is not a ChatGPT style LLM tool. We actually train Amy ourselves. Amy is trained on solutions-based coaching, which is a specific coaching framework that we use. The other component that's important about Amy is while Amy will remember conversations between coach and coachee, the conversations Amy has are not used to further train Amy. So it's not a tool that continues to learn from what's being fed from your organization. It's something that we are training ourselves. So while you might be able to go onto ChatGPT and ask anything that you want and get any type of answer, we do have those guardrails in place with Amy, and we'll be going into that pretty in depth in the session on the 14th. But it's really, really cool because Amy is a true AI coach and not a chat bot, not just a chat bot or a chat GPT or role play.
Perfect. All right, we've got time for one last question. Can the coaching program be customized to address specific leadership development needs within different departments or different teams?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can do this with any of our coaching solutions, whether it's collective coaching, one-on-one, executive, or Amy. We do program design on the back end. So before we launch your programs, we kind of go back to a lot of what I talked about at the beginning about choosing focus areas, identifying objectives. And then we also have coach briefing both for our human coaches and for Amy, where we can also give Amy some information and background context around the organization, the programs, how participants are selected, what the objectives of the programs are. And you can run multiple programs at CoachHub. So depending on how many licenses you buy for whatever the solution is or a combination of solutions, we're able to customize each of those programs based on how you want to use those licenses and how they work best for the populations in your organization.
Oh, perfect. So it's not just kind of a one size fits all at your organization.
No, it's incredibly flexible, and it's my favorite thing. Having been in a client seat before and knowing what it's like to just be delivered a solution, it's very nice to have some say.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're reaching the end of our time here together. If anyone has any follow-up questions, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, I think Carly's going to drop our contact info in there. I believe Carly, I'm sorry if you're not. Drop our contact info in there, and you can always reach out with more questions. And hopefully we'll see everybody on the Amy webinar where you can really dig into deep about Amy. Oh, there it is.
Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much today. Now, everyone, we've got another one of our 15-minute breaks, and then I'll see you back here in just a few months for our next demo.
Thank you.
Thank you.